Hey everybody, Strainers103 here today with another replay cast. We're looking at hentai art again with a meme this time on Sea of the Moine. Weird names, I know. But, oh, by the way, let me see if I can get this. Audio. Voice messages. Die. Because he's got, Seagull, and I bloody hate the voice. Like, I've got Seagull, and I know the captain gives you bonuses, but I fucking hate that voice so much. I refuse to use him when I play, despite the advantages, well, the boosted abilities. So yeah, we're just gonna turn it on. If you all see the card will lower AP, which is right, because well, these HE shells are slower. Same for here, slightly slower. So you know, shooting AP is actually more efficient, but like you'd rather have the Yamato do the combo deletion overall. Regardless, pretty standard the meme build in my opinion, it seems like. Though the map seems to be a bit derpy here. Is that the Minotaur? Yeah, it is. But radar, you know, no planes. Hydro, it is a decision to make. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, when you get HE'd or you get HE bombed, these 3-inch 50s you see, 2 here, there's 4 on each side where the next to the secondaries you see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's another 2 at the back end there. So for a 12 total of 350s, base 335 DPS at 5 km range, it is pretty solid with a 91 DP, which is meh. So you don't really want to have manual AA unless you fully stack into anti-aircraft. Keep that in mind. But if you do fully stack into anti-aircraft, that's actually the build I'm planning to go for with my Dememe. It's probably going to be a Hydro build with a with full anti-aircraft on it, including possibly even manual AA. So, you know, it's going to be able to provide quite a lot of AA defense for myself. Like, midways with the Peter Bombers won't be able to do much. I mean, they can still click you to death with AP, but hey. Regardless, we're now approaching Bravo, so we're going to be in a position where we can radar their stuff. Having a look at the radars, they get a Moskva and a Baltimore. We've got us and a single Missouri. They've got double there, so Moskva, you know, I guess these would be equal, but they do have an extra radar there, and they have an extra potential for radar there along with here. So, you know, on top of having New Orleans, which I didn't actually manage to catch, so, by the way, screw that island in particular, I guess. Need to aim a little bit more, like, there you go, forwards, and we might be able to shoot over it, but if you aim a little bit more forwards, you're not going to be able to hit the target, because you don't have the ability to lead into it, because the island in front of us is going to barely start blocking our shots now, so, oh, that reminds me, I need to do this all the way, and then we can get rid of that. But the other Yamato shows up, so I guess we're going to plink away at that. There's no point in trying to get the rear turrets on target, because they're going to shoot the island behind us, and if we start creeping forwards, we're going to get ourselves shot if we get spotted. So there you go, reversing a little bit, but if we over-reverse, we're not going to be able to shoot anything there anymore either, so, hey. But it seems like both teams are doing this amazing death lob, so hooray for fun, engaging, awesome, well-designed, dispersed, and dynamic gameplay. So, hey, wargaming. But hey, it seems like a large portion of the enemy team, in fact, let's do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the only thing we're missing is the destroyer, so, wow. Regardless, the Minotaur decides he's going to sit in the open, so here, have a Citadel. Unfortunately, we didn't get more. You kind of don't want to aim at the front of it, but, you know, if you aim at the front of it like that, you know, I'm assuming it's in case of enemy accelerating move, but, the problem with it is if he accelerates, the shells aren't going to get there, and you know you need to aim like an entire ship length in front to actually be able to hit them. Now, I think we're aiming a little bit too high. I didn't actually memorize the range, so we're going to start missing him now. Someone else is having a pop at the smoke screen. I think we're all shooting too high right now. One thing you can do is to shift X and assume he isn't moving and hope he isn't moving, but let me see if I can take manual control of the camera. I'm guessing he's moved around a little bit. Oh, that Missouri doesn't seem too happy. He's having a pop back. However, he's shot a little bit too short there. For the most part, he aimed on the tip of the island. He basically aimed it here because that's where the you know, screen would make him aim. Regardless, we're moving ourselves into Bravo now, so we're going to be getting a massive cap advantage. I'm guessing we're moving in here just to stop the enemy team, well, the Minotaur on the team, I mean, from getting it. And there's a chance we can always go in there and liberate the Minotaur's smoke screen. But of course, that's us making the assumption that the guy's actually there. There you go, radar going up. Looks like we caught the Missouri, but no Minotaur. He probably has abandoned the smoke screen already in fear of being decolonized. Might take that statement back. He's still reversing inside of it, which means this guy's now fucked because one does not simply unreverse a Minotaur. That thing does not de-reverse at all. However, the next shot we need to aim about here. Otherwise, we're just going to end up hitting his tail end, because those things mash the W button, and with our shells going to the moon and then back and then to Mars and bloody hell, it's going to end up with you know, a complete miss. But honestly, my opinion, there's no such thing as stealing. And press D for defensive AA. Oh wait, but I mean, there is a reason to care though for the guy that looking in the chat. There isn't a reason to care because it's 50% of the guy's health and XP. So it does matter because it basically means that he gets a lot more XP for shooting him for a little bit of damage, right? I mean, in the end, I personally don't care enough, and it's a Des Moines, so you know you get ridiculous amounts of XP anyways. But let's have a quick look at the ship. It doesn't even look like we're going for a high XP farming build. So like that probably would be losing like 20-30 XP overall on a win. So I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Base XP, that is, by the way, ish. I mean, I'm basically making completely random, minorly educated guesses, I guess. Regardless, somebody has decided to raid our back, so if this Yamato is pointing at us, he could easily lob shells over the island. Missouri can easily lob over the island as well. I don't think the Yamato really is in a position to citadel us, but he definitely can hit us. And we're a bit poorly angled, but he should be able to get shells over the island. There you go. You see, mostly going into the superstructure. If the Missouri had shot us, he could easily have wiped us. Same for the other Missouri that's now coming our way. If he is going to shoot us, he can easily wipe us out at this point. Hydroacoustic search going up, assuming there might be a destroyer in front of us, the Fletcher perhaps, but here you go, incoming Missouri shells. We're starting to reverse and looks like we're trying to angle in as well. I don't know what the hell he was trying to hit, but it surely didn't seem to be us. There you go, more shells impacting our bow. So honestly, I'd say we get pretty damn lucky here. We don't get just simply wiped. But then again, we are in Des Moines, and if they hit us, you know, bow on as well, we're still going to get wiped. So I don't really think it matters much in the end. I guess we're just hoping for luck, right? Regardless, we're no longer spotted, so we might as well continue to sit here and farm battleship damage. Nothing really wrong about that, because the enemy team has decided they don't want to do anything, and they want to sit there and blob. Plane shows up and then vanishes, but we shoot again because the penalty didn't fully stick, so the penalty now does stick on us. That camo system is a little bit weird. Regardless, more Missouri shells coming in. I mean, we're just using this island to wank on enemy health bars. Nothing really wrong with that, but you know, if we do get spotted and the enemy team actually has a clue on how to aim, we could be finding ourselves getting punished. But thankfully, Missouris don't actually get planes. Otherwise, they could easily have just shot you back over the island. And we are actually running reload upgrades. Pretty obvious because of the really good rate of fire we got. 4.7 seconds reload right now. So that's letting us pick up quite a lot of damage against the enemy's fleet over there right now. And with Seagull, there's a good chance that we have expert marksman. Although I don't actually think we do, because he did send in the captain build, and he doesn't have expert marksman. Looks like the Yamato just took some skill, and there you go, the plane shows up, but it's not in range for us to hit it. Maybe we get lucky, but oh, we actually do get lucky. Let's see, have we lost any of our three? Oh, we even get another one, but the other ones are still circling around. Have we lost any 3 inch 50s? We've been mostly AP'd this game, so all our 3 inch 50s are alive as well, and that's quite nice. More incoming battleship fire from across half the bloody map. But it doesn't look like they've realized that we are actually advancing in the opposite direction by keeping the bow towards the enemy. So they actually completely miss, thankfully. Which is kind of nice for our health, because these things do have a tendency to get deleted at times. Regardless, Moskva is just outside of radar range now, and he's probably about to get pressured backwards or away from us. New Orleans takes a bit of a blatting as he now goes down to Missouris. I wouldn't say they're getting triggered, but I think it's just the battleship play being absolutely horrible, and they don't really have anything better to be shooting at than you when you're spotted, so you're the one who's going to be taking fire. Well, I mean, of the people that are actually likely to do anything. Minotaur actually torpedoes the Kaba. Now that's a new one. No destroyer in range, so we're not going to find ourselves being torped. Moskva's now coming up, but I've swapped with the AP shells and aim a little bit higher on him. It's 155mm of belt armor on the upper end of it, with the lower end being 300, which is going to be a little bit harder to contest. But the Moskva now decides it doesn't want to get citadel and has radar, so it's time to start the de-reversing and get moving again. And there you go, even pick up a citadel through his warship areas, because with the Des Moines, we don't have increased normalization anymore. However, we still keep the better auto-deflect angles, which means that the shells will not auto-deflect on as steep angles as they would with other cruiser else equipped with the same caliber gun. Actually, no, there are no other 8-inch gun cruisers in the game, I think. There's just the 20, yeah, there's just 20.3s, which have the 7.5 degrees, if I remember correctly, the 7.5 degrees normalization, and auto deflect at like 27 or something. I don't actually remember the auto deflect angles. But regardless, we're continuing to blink in the Moskva. At this angle, I would just swap back to HE. Never mind, Montana makes him cease to exist. But when he started angling in again and we could no longer really citadel him, I would have just swapped back to HE and tried to paste some fires on him. Sure, he's got 50mm deck armor, which means we can't actually lolpen his deck with HE. Oh, lolpen. We can't pen his deck with HE. But we can still spam away at his superstructure, which is pretty sizable, and do a good chunk of damage. Move we're making here is a little bit risky, but I don't think anyone really is nearby enough to have planes. Looks like the Yamato is actually getting a little bit triggered. He's... Oh, never mind, he's shooting the Moskva behind us. I didn't realize he was there. And he survives that. But this is a really risky position to be in, because if we get spotted by a plane right now, we're actually slightly angled. We can easily find ourselves just simply ceasing to exist here if someone spots us. However, the radar in the Moskva is dead. Seems like we're trying to trigger the enemy fleet. I don't really know why, and there you go. We take 1 MLG from the Iowa, on 350 damage. Baltimore shows up. Looks like we have the expert loader for instant ammunition swap as we pick up our Witherer. Not bad at all. Continuing to plink merrily, but I don't think we're going to be able to achieve much against that Baltimore now, because he's kind of going to get behind cover. And there we go. We actually pick up a Citadel there for a high caliber. Pretty nice one, just flipping his rare Citadel, picking up another one on the way in as well, so pretty good shooting there. That guy probably isn't having too good of a day. Even a third Citadel there as well, so really well aimed there overall. We can see that he was passing between the short island, not the long one, so, you know, he did expose himself there. Probably didn't expect to take this much damage, and, you know, with the Des Moines' incredibly fast reload as we pick up another bloody fire, it's kind of unlikely that, you know, he's going to have the time to react to any move anyways. Regardless, Missouri is now coming in, probably looking for a chance to radar, so looks like we're advancing forwards. I mean, if we get radared and the Montana decides to look at us funny, we could just, you know, again, explode. Otherwise, Missouri and Montana on the south are actually, looks like they're getting in a CQC engagement, but the Moskva burns them down, so our Monty gets away with it. And, well, the enemy team's finally managing to get themselves in day, and there goes our Minotaur. Yeah, we're obviously radared. We, well, should consider accelerating in a other direction just so we don't get Montana over the island. But Montana won't be able to shoot us right now, so I'd probably start looking at the Yamato in the distance, see if there's any more additional damage we can farm. If the Missouri wants to push in, he's welcome to push in, but the problem here we have is that we can't actually afford to lose too many ships, because they actually have a battleship advantage against us, and they are not actually that low on health. And let's have a look at our fleet's health bars. Iowa's still reasonable, Monty's still good, as we do actually have a radar upgrade, so I guess we're just doing this to counter radar the Missouri and Yamato to see what they're up to for the next just short of a minute, well, 56 seconds. Again, blinking over the island, the Yamato is at no position whatsoever to engage us right now because of the island in front of him, so that's not too bad. But we should probably consider getting ourselves into a slightly less worse position and preparing to engage the Missouri coming up our tails. It doesn't look like the Missouri is actually trying to push through. It looks like he's trying to push past, as the Moskva is also having the similar idea of, hey, let's reverse towards Missouri. That's going to be a great idea. So hopefully they'll shoot the Moskva over us first, right? But we're the first one that's going to be getting spotted if there's any, you know, at least being in a position to be shot at, as secondaries are even opening up on the guy. But no more shooting now because Moskva's kind of blocking. And, well, looks like the Moskva all of a sudden is like, no, I don't want to be the first one getting shot, thank you very much, as our secondary shoot the Moskva's superstructure. That's actually a thing that used to be, you know, it used to be a thing in the past, and I definitely extract towards the left there, definitely a good choice here. But that's the thing of the past, you used to actually be able to damage friendlies with your secondaries. That was really silly in my opinion. Regardless, it looks like we're turning our main battery turrets into frontal-facing ones as well to swing him around. Missouri probably doesn't look too happy about us. I mean, we are the only ones he can shoot realistically, so he definitely is going to shoot us. So no real reason there. Then, okay, that one was a bit silly. I would have deleted the. I would definitely have deleted the broadside Moskva at that point, as we just take more penetration damage up our tail. We do pre-trigger the heal there just to get it up online earlier. But our gearing actually explodes. That Yamato shell actually goes over the island. We're now broadside to the Montana. But our concealment should be regenerating. Hopefully we don't actually get shortened. One turret, so it's not that bad. We're swinging around to try to eliminate the Moskva, the Missouri, to try to save the Moskva, but I don't think he's in a position to be saved, because he kind of got himself stuck there. More planes spotting us. Maybe our anti-aircraft can do something. We do have AFT, obviously, so, you know. And with our reload upgrade, this was a really risky move. The Missouri didn't actually manage to punish us. He didn't Citadel us, and this is the important thing. Swapping double piercing now. I wouldn't be bothering to go for the Citadel. I just go for a center mass, you know, not shooting into his belt. I just go for center or mass upper area to wipe the 10k plus AP salvos. Like, look at this shit. There's no way this Missouri is getting to reload again, because we're just gonna murder him. So, and now the Fletcher shows up, so we've got ourselves a bit of a problema on our hands. Because we are also caught in a bit of an intriguing position with the battleships, but hopefully none of them are looking interested in shortening us, and it seems that's to be the case. Fletcher goes in this, but kind problem, we have a 1 minute radar to pop to engage. However, he's going to be running away from us, and that's a bit poorly aimed. Guess we've got the shaky hand syndrome with the Baltimore now coming in front of us as well. Triggering our next heal the moment it comes up. And there you go. Again, a little bit under lead there. And that's basically the last shot we're going to get on the Fletcher. I would now well, send this, load AP, and prepare to engage the Baltimore in front of us. And there you go, armor-piercing shells coming up. We, at this point, basically just need to kill the Baltimore and then advance in the opposite direction. Because, I mean, this is the issue. You know, if the enemy death blobs like this, I mean, it's horribly, horribly poor play, but, you know, it does kind of work out in this case, because our team kind of fed to them. Anyways, the Baltimore makes a big mistake. He exposes his warship at a way too high angle, so we can actually lull pen through that, and there you go, bam, he's dead. Welcome to Des Moines. It's 8-inch, are they 57s or 55s? 8-inch special rifles. There you go, said it. Regardless, the Fletcher could be a bit of a nuisance, as we're actually out of radars at this point, but we need to run away, because this Yamato looks like he's nicht so happy with us, and that's the Fletcher spotting us. He's extracted towards the north, probably figuring he doesn't want to take an engagement with us. But, well, we're probably going to get shot at very soon. Thankfully, we actually managed to go invis again, so, you know, the Yami doesn't actually get to shoot us. And we actually still have the C cap, so the enemy team didn't actually look too interested in going for that overall, which is kind of nice. If the Fletcher just capped C, smoked up and evaded the Iowa, he would have been able to negate some of our points game. If they then kill the Iowa on our team, which will take some time, and we are ticking towards 1,000 points marker here. You know, what that means is that, you know, they'd reduce the points gain of our team a little bit, and if the Yamato pushed into B, they would have completely cut off our points gain, killed the Iowa, which now just got Yamato to the face. So, what that means is that they would have some additional time to swing the Yamato on the Montana on the south back towards us, because at that point, we would have to either acquire a kill, it ain't going to be the Fletcher, and their battleships are pretty healthy, because, you know, it's not going to be the Fletcher, because unless he suicides on us, we're not going to get him, right? You know, lock down the points income, kill the Iowa, come back, and secure the game in their favor. Because this game right now is definitely in a position where we can lose it. Because once that Iowa goes down, we're going to lose quite some points. In fact, we're going to lose, 100 points differential here. Although we ourselves, I think, are only going to lose 60 points from our points gain, if you want. Now, this Iowa seems like he did actually manage to survive a little bit. No one's actually pointing at us yet, which is kind of nice. So we pick up a little bit of additional damage. This Iowa, he actually survives. The enemy team made a major mistake. They didn't lock down B. The Fletcher threw away their chance to secure a win there, actually. If Fletcher had capped Charlie, that would have stopped the points income. If the Yamato would have entered B, again, would have stopped the points income, given them enough time to kill off the Iowa, and then given them a chance to come kill off us. Because at that point, our hand would have been forced, we would have no option but to enter the Charlie cap, and, well, no, the Alpha cap even, and to take that, and even then we still have about 70-80 points we'd need to build on our own with one cap, and the Fletcher's likely starting to come through as well, with the Yamato being able to push towards us as well, would kind of mean that we're going to be in a really, really iffy position. you know, it was definitely a game we could potentially have lost due to the team, you know, the Gearings throwing a ship away, the team otherwise, you know, throwing their ships away to try to beat a death blob. And that's the thing about death blobs. They are absolutely horrible strategic, but if the other team is even worse and defeats the death blob, you can actually win. All you really need to do against death blob is kill off the stragglers, take up positions on their flanks, and when they start pushing in, farm a shitload of broadside damage on them with your battleships, and that's really, really good. But we did, I think we arsonisted the Missouri that wasn't too happy about us. We did pick up a lot of overall good damage. Near the post-battle results screen, we did some really good AP damage. We could have maximized it by shooting HE at the Moskva, in my opinion. But that's really it. Other than that, we should, in my opinion, honestly, we should have been punished for our position over the island and for our overconfidence in just sitting still. But Yamato couldn't really punish us because of his shell trajectories. But the US battleships should easily have been able to annihilate us, just, you know, the way it is, honestly. They didn't properly shoot us. Team scores were obviously going to be on top because it's, you know, at Des Moines it gets incredibly good XP modifiers despite a good chunk of our damage here being against, like, look at this, Missouri farm. This was good, overall, this was pretty nice as well, but like a good chunk of this damage is battleship farming. No planes here either, so, you know, no additional source of income. Team scores here, we have a look at that. Credits and XP, I mean, without premium, 167 is really, really nice considering we had full premium consumables here. And I'm pretty sure we had the, there you go, you can see, we did have the, you know, let's see, credits, we had the signal there, we had, looks like we have a flag for additional, bonuses here. But, no, we didn't have credits flag, but, you know, having the camo definitely would help with our income there. Actually, no, I don't remember the camo, what it does anymore. But, regardless, a very good result there overall. Definitely something to feel like showing off, and that's what I'm doing here right now, I guess. But yeah, other than us honestly kind of deserving to get wiped out for sitting behind the island attack, like a 45-degree angle is a really bad angle to be against battleships in Des Moines because they hit your belt armor, they have the penetration to go through it, but also they have to penetrate so much armor that you're not going to get overpenned either. Same for any impacts to your 27mm of now standardized deck and bow armor. It's thicker there now compared to, say, Moskva, which is 25mm, and you know they will lull pen that automatically if they hit that. And the more angle you give, the more ship there is to pass through before the shell goes out the other end. And in this case, against US battleship shells, those shells are not going to go out the other end. They're going to blow up inside of you and deal full damage. So, yeah. Otherwise, with them also not really having the world's best aim against us when we were asked onto them, although deleting a Des Moines ass on, you're not really likely to one-shot it, but you do have a high chance to do heavy amounts of damage to it overall if you know where to shoot. But that didn't really seem like... the opponents had the best of clues there, so they didn't really manage to punish us for, I'd say, the overconfidence, realistically speaking. Regardless, hope you guys enjoyed this very, very solid Des Moines game. Over 300,000 damage, managed to farm, and then a pretty lucky win for us in the end, in all fairness, but nothing to take away from an amazing result like this. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you'd like to send your own replays, there will be an address in the description below. It's replays.strangeness123@gmail.com. Feel free to send them in if you want to know, if there's anything you'd like to know about the gameplay that you think you did right or wrong, or would like just someone else to have a look at. Please leave a description of the game in your email to me, and I'm sure we can have a look at it. I would like to right now say that Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are, for me, going to become what I'm going to call priority replay days. Which means if there's any special event going on, such as ranked, I'll prioritize looking at ranked replays over normal replays, and for otherwise Tuesdays and Thursdays. No guarantees of content on Tuesdays, by the way. And that's a pre-record on a Monday, which I should. But, you know, I just believe that, you know, I kind of should schedule my content. As for the weekends, there's more likely to be streaming content over the weekends than at any other time. Again, I don't really feel like I can set up a streaming schedule for you guys. I would love to, but I don't really think that it's doable for me right now. That's the problem. So, yeah. But with that, I'll perhaps catch you guys on my live stream, twitch.tv/strangeness123. I do plan to perhaps continue streaming today. I had an almost 12-hour long stream yesterday, so it's not too bad. I wanted to cut it off before I hit the 12-hour mark because I do kind of want to have a special 12-hour stream one day when I have the time to do so. But yeah, take care, and I'll see you guys hopefully on my stream later.